Beloved, welcome back to the 4th episode of Building a Canvas Cabin. Check it out. We've got the platform and the deck done. We got some beautiful Western red cedar, but that right there is the new stainless steel wood stove. That is a very nice unit. Let's go finish up the last of the decking and see where that takes us. I do apologize, gentlemen. I started without you. I did build the deck without making any video, but it was more of the same. So the platform that we have here is a 14 by 16 with an 8 by 14 deck on there. Follow the rule of thirds. Of course, you know, if you have a 16-foot deck, then 1/3 more is 8 feet, which looks nice. So I built it in a way that this is going to be under a cover, but basically open. So that's why it's going to be the Western red cedar in the 2x6. Very nice stuff. $2 a foot. This is $500 worth of cedar on here. But I just can't abide the plastic, walking on the plastic stuff. Same construction, same framing as we did before. But this is going to be super, super nice. So I've got 3 boards left. I'll show you how we do this together, and then we'll see. Maybe we'll start building the frame. Of course, Western red cedar is about the best outdoor wood that you can have. Folks in the Pacific Northwest, well, we live in a climate that's probably the hardest climate that there is on wood siding because of all the moisture, and cedar has proven to be super, super resilient. Now we're going to overhang these a little bit. Whenever we're done, we'll run the skill saw across there, flush everything up. I use my speed square as a spacer. You don't typically want to put your boards wet, tight. If you put them tight, what happens is when they get wet, they swell and they'll push out and they'll press against each other and pull the screws out. So, you know, it depends, but this is the gap that I leave right here. Always pre-drill with an 1/8 inch drill bit, especially on the outsides, because that's where it'll want to split, and this will prevent that. The screws I'm using are pretty skookum. They're 2.5 inch, and they're the Torx with the small heads on them, and the wood kind of seals up around them, especially the cedar. My dad used to say it's like self-healing, but these look nice. I think you should put everything straight, measure it out so that your screws are nice and straight. Of course, what the good book tells us, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might, and that means everything. Here's a pro tip for you, gentlemen. So you see these boards, and I saved this one specifically for you guys because it's the worst one. You see it's got a big bow in it. This can mess up your whole layout. You know, of course, you snap a line when you first start, so you start on a square, on a straight board. But here's a trick. Take your chisel, drive that in there, and now have your screws and everything set. And what you can do is you work that over there to where that needs to be. The American way, you bend it to your will, gentlemen. And then set your screws. And that takes care of that problem there. Over here, you've got the opposite problem. You've got it all closed up now. A couple of you guys are asking if I got a new hammer. No, I just couldn't. I misplaced my stiletto. This is Jack's hammer. This is a 19-ounce Vaughan. This is a good hammer too. Vaughan makes a good hammer. That's the hammer I grew up using. Used to frame with a 28-ounce hammer, but that's a little bit heavy if you're not driving big sinkers. Again, this edge to edge is not important because we'll snap a line and trim this flush to the rim joist. We'll just have to make sure that we're hanging over just a little bit. For the field screws, I've marked my joists and we'll snap a line. Chalk is always nice because the first rain it washes away. You don't ever want to write on your wood with anything like a permanent marker. always use a pencil or a chalk line. Use your speed square and lay out your screws. I put them in 1 inch from each side. You're gonna be looking at these things for the next 20 years. Goodness, don't forget to pull out the staples. All right, gentlemen, that is it. I think we're ready to put the tent frame up, just to give you a little first-person perspective. So I built this deck down 1/2 inch lower so that it's flush. Now I'm gonna I'm thinking of putting a 14 by 16 waxed canvas tarp on here on the plywood section. And now we have a new cover that will run out there and keep 6 foot of the deck dry. And then there'd be 2 foot with no cover on it. So this will be very, very nice to be able to walk out here, and it gives you enough room for 3 or 4 people or so. We'll have to do some stairs down here, of course, but for right now, I think we should take the tent down right over there. All right, well, I'm gonna go pull that down, and then next episode, we'll build up the frame. So thank you all for watching. If you wouldn't mind, click the thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to follow the series. You're gonna not wanna miss the next part. It's gonna be pretty cool. We're gonna be putting that 14 by 16 up. So may God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you all on the next video.